Coffee brewing? Check.
Coffee with HDR on the big screen in the shed? Check.
15 minutes till coffee with HDR? Check. Oh, man. Yes, Mr. President. Yes, sir. Sir, with all due respect, we're getting ready to watch Coffee with HDR. Yeah, he's on 9. 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Yes, sir. I'll give you a call back in an hour. Thank you, sir. Oh, I tell you, nothing interrupts Coffee with HDR. Let's get on with the show.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back once again to your good old friend right here, HDR, Harley Day Rider. And guys, you're back here, and welcome to the show today for show number 141 for Saturday, September the 30th, 2023. And man, you know, it's nice to have that intro in there, and I'm going to tell you about the little mix-ups this morning I've been having. And trying to get the show ready to go. Hey, that kind of rhymed, huh? Getting the show ready to go. First, let's go with our good mornings here, and let's see who's all in here this morning. Well, we do have the Smyrna Cowboy in there. Again, thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful intro. Payne's Rides in there. Good morning to you. I got up at 3 a.m. for some damn reason this morning. Holding off for the second cup of Joe for coffee with HDR. Yeah, I got up like 3:30 myself, Payne's Rides, so I feel you, man. I can feel you for sure. Good morning to Ron Kelly. Ron Kelly there, Payne's Rides. Still raining in Connecticut. Captain Ed, Be the Rider, PA. Good morning from Bristol, Virginia. Yep, he's out riding his motorcycle again across the world. Another worldwide trip from Be the Rider, PA. Good morning to Paul. Good morning to Jarvis Biker. Smyrna Cowboy again. After coffee, going for some riding with some friends. Toby Northern's in the house. Debbie's here. Good morning to Debbie and Mallory. Dean C. Toby Northern. Jarvis Biker. Good morning to Chuck from South Dakota. Bob Nelson's in the house. Judge Norman's here. Got a nice group of people here this morning. Let's see if I can find anybody else here. Pete Moto Adventures is in the house there this morning. Good morning to you. Harley 103. And good morning to from Australia. Nice to have you in there. Ineo South Oz. Very, very interesting there in Australia. So hopefully everybody can hear me this morning. And good morning to Henry at the Iron Horse Riders there. So all the Iron Horse Riders out there that we are. So, you know, I may have told you last week. I better wake up. I better get some more coffee. So I may have told you last week, I may not have told you, I did purchase a new desktop computer for the studio here, and it is a new Apple Mac Mini with the M2 processor. And I tell you what, it's a screamer, man. For video editing with that 34-inch widescreen monitor I bought, you just can't beat the setup. I mean, it's awesome to have that much power for editing. And 4K videos now just rip right down, and they render out really, really fast, and it's really impressive. But what's not impressive is when you wake up in the morning and you think, okay, I'm going to live stream my show today, and I got to make sure the computer's set up and ready to go. Well, I didn't have OBS, which is the software I use to stream these shows. That wasn't on there, so that had to be installed and configured. And then I had a bit of a trouble there with my camera, because you guys know or may not know, the camera, my main camera I'm using here is a Sony 35 millimeter. It's a mirrorless DSLR. Okay, so I've been using that to stream these shows for a long time, but trying to get it set up on this new Mac Mini, it was kind of interesting because I plugged it into this old thing here. Let me show you what it is. Where's it at? So I had this old USB hub laying around. You know, many of us have these things, right? And have this old USB hub laying around here. The problem is I don't have the power cable for it anymore. It's supposed to be powered on that side. If you can see that right there for the old USB hub. But so without the power, it didn't have enough power to send to the camera for the video to come into the computer. So that was giving me a bit of a issue this morning. So luckily I had a USB 3.0 little hub. And with that hub, I was able to actually set it up and configure it to the point where it will power everything, because it's powering my XLR microphone here. You know, this mic right here, it's powering this up. It's powering my USB audio box up, so it's got to power that up. And then it's got to power the camera. So everything's going through that little USB hub. And it's working, so that's beneficial for us this morning, right? It is working, and everything seems to be going okay there. As long as you can hear me, as long as you can see me, I guess we're batting 1,000 points for sure. Bob Nelson said, give it a big thumbs up. Give the show a big like there. Big thumbs up. We do appreciate that for sure. These shows, you know, are... And if you've noticed, every time I go to configure one of these shows for a Saturday morning, it comes up and says, hey, it automatically monetizes it. But what happens is when you're monetizing a live stream, you get commercials when you're watching the live stream. And I don't want that, okay? Now, if you're watching the rerun, yes, the monetization is on the reruns, but it's not on during the live show. And I don't like those commercials coming up during the live show because it starts to throw off the timing of everything. I may be talking, you guys may be, you know, a minute or two behind me at that point. So I don't run those commercials during the live stream. So if you're here watching, it's commercial free, and that's my benefit to you for watching live, and I appreciate that. Harley 103 says this morning, I'm heading out later with a friend who's looking to buy his first Harley Davidson. He's checking out the 2020 Ultra Limited, low mileage, and a street glide. Yeah, definitely point them to the Ultra Limited, but point them to the Road Glide Ultra Limited. Yeah, we're kind of a Road Glide fan here, you know that. So I used to have a electric glide, which is built like a street glide, right, with the bat wing fairing, and you know, I love that motorcycle. I've been watching some old videos because I'm trying to get my digital life back in order, and it's really been a mess. I got files everywhere. I got videos all over the place, all kind of hard drives. I got videos on them, and that's neither here nor there, good or bad. But I'm just checking my stream as I'm talking. So, good morning to Minimoto. Nice to have you in there this morning with us. So anyway, but I do really like. I enjoy riding the road glides more than the street glides. But the street glide's a beautiful bike, man. If you're getting a good deal on it, I said buy the damn motorcycle, right? That's what Adam tells us all to do. Buy the damn motorcycle. So I titled this show, and I put the description in there about seasonal riding. And the seasons are changing here rapidly in Pennsylvania. It's getting to the point now where, you know, like I wake up to go to work, and I'm thinking it's going to be 80 degrees or 70 degrees in the afternoon. But it's going to be... I'm playing with this damn thing like a fidget thing. Here, I got to put that down. But it's also cold in the mornings, guys. It's been like 45, you know. And yeah, I know. Miss HR said, put the heated gear on and go. But then when you get to work, you have to go to the bathroom. You have to do that, I call it the Superman routine, where you go in, you got to strip off all your clothes, take your heated gear off, put your clothes back on, and get ready for the day. Definitely don't want to wear that stuff all day long. That'd be a real bummer. So... Harley 103 said he likes the bat ring. Why do you recommend the street glide? The reason I recommend the street glide, and everybody that owns a street glide will recommend it, is because one, you have more room in the cockpit. Right? It doesn't feel like that dash is sitting in your lap, right? On a Batwing fairing, it feels like that dash is like right there in the gas tank, right in your face. So it's a Road Glide. It's down. It's faced away from you a little bit. You got more room to ride, I feel, to stretch out. Second reason, it cuts the wind better on the highway. With a Batwing fairing, when you pass a tractor trailer, you'll get this. This little wobbling going on. And it's not that drastic, but you can feel the steer, and you're fighting to steer it, right? With a Road Glide, when the fairing is mounted to the frame and not the handlebars, you don't get any of that. You just ride, and it cuts through it like a jet, right through the middle of the wind stream there. So it's a lot more comfortable ride for me. Okay, that's my opinion. Now, if you talk to Bronco Ride has a Street Glide special, and he absolutely loves that motorcycle. He may never change and convert over to the Road Glide. Don't ever let your motorcycle buying be peer pressure. So I don't pressure him. And we joke with him, but I don't pressure Bronco Ride into buying anything. That's his opinion. It's his motorcycle, and his bike is awesome, man. It's got a stage 3 on it, and it's fast, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful motorcycle. So, but those are my opinions. That's why I always recommend the Road Glide. Good morning to TMAR007. Nice to have you on board there with us this morning. Harley 103, before your friend lays down hard-earned cash, try out the comparable Indian. He will be amazed at the ride, Chuck says. So, yeah, unless his heart's set on a Harley. I mean, I did a video recently that Harley is the undisputed king, and it got a lot of positive feedback, but it got some haters. Of course, that's going to happen when you post a video like that. But for me, and I love Indian motorcycles. I would love to have an Indian motorcycle in the garage. And salty and sprinkles, salty and sprinkles. You may watch their channel, you may not, but him and his wife both ride Indians, and they absolutely love those bikes. My two Indians, or his two Indians, or their two Indians. Another channel, they ride Indian motorcycles, and they absolutely love them. So, would I like an Indian as much as the Harley? Probably if I own one, but I don't own one. So that's just neither here nor there. So I guess that's why I feel that Harley is the undisputed king. Now, I give you another reason why Harley is, in my eyes, the undisputed king. And I said on the video, when you ride down the road, either in your car, your truck, your pickup, your tractor-trailer truck, or on your motorcycle, and look at the number of bikes that go by, 95 out of 100 motorcycles are Harley Davidsons. All right, let's go 90 out of 100. Because there are other bikes I see out there on the road. A lot of Goldwings, man. A lot of people are leaving Harley to go to Goldwing. Honda Goldwings are something that people really, really love. And, I think it's an awesome bike for sure. Now my laptop wants to do updates. So anyway, I think you do. I think your friend, unless they really want a Harley because they're in that community of Harley Davidsons, which it's a big community, man. Buy the Harley Davidson. If not, if they're open to other suggestions, see if there's an Indian dealer and go out and ride one of the Chieftains, or ride one of the new, I forget the new one, Challengers. Ride one of the Challengers. I mean, it's an awesome motorcycle. So, try it out. Go to Honda. I don't know, not all Honda dealers will let you ride a Goldwing, but check out a Goldwing. Maybe you'll like that better. Because once you lay down that money and you buy something, now you're stuck with it for 5 to 7 years, right? So, make a good decision when you're buying something. You don't have to buy it just because of the name brand. Although, like I said, Harleys are out there. A lot of people own them, and it seems like the motor, at least in the U.S., not in every country. In the U.S., it seems that way. Fire whistles are going off already this morning. Wow. I used to have a scanner up here, and I don't know where I put it. Isn't that funny? Like, I used to listen to a scanner all the time, like a police scanner. I have no idea where it went. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Payne's Red said, I saw dyno results on the new HD Sevos with the 121. Not impressive numbers at all, Payne said. People go to Goldwings for the comfort and the DTC, and I think you're right that more and more people, even me, I say, I can't drive a motorcycle without a clutch, but man, I would love to try a DTC or a DCT. And, the direct, direct clutching transmission, auto clutching, whatever. But I would love to try it out just to see. I understand the slow speed maneuvers are harder to learn because you can't feather the clutch, and use the clutch to take some of the spinning off the back wheel, right, and off that motor. So I don't know. I mean, I'd like to try it just to see if I'd be interested. Okay, so Jarvis said it's called a dual clutch transmission. Okay, thanks, guys. Dual clutch transmission. Harley 103 says not sure of how many he has sat on, but I'll make sure he does try a few. It's just a good thing, Harley 103. I mean, it's totally up to your friend for sure. Uh, I would never turn anybody away from Harley Davidson. I'm definitely not a Harley hater. I've owned now. What did I have? 3 or 4 different Harley Davidson motorcycles. So I am not a Harley hater. I love the brand. I love the bike. Watch that video I did where I said the Harley is the undisputed king, and check that out because you can hear in my voice the fun that I'm having on my Harley Davidson. Now, let's revert that back a little bit too because the other day I had the opportunity. I came home and it was a nice day. I took the Royal Enfield Himalayan out, and I also have fun on that motorcycle. So it's just a different type of fun, but it is a fun bike to ride and to see what you can do with a $5,000 motorcycle as opposed to a $30,000 motorcycle. Can you have as much fun? Absolutely. You don't have to spend a lot of money to ride a motorcycle. So, Jarvis Biker says my Road Glide is just as comfy as my GL 1800 was. There you go. So Jarvis had both bikes. He had a Honda Goldwing, and he traded it off for his Road Glide. So now he has a Road Glide, and it's a beautiful bike. Let me see here. Minimoto said on my first Harley, and I loved it. Um, but it's the hog stuff that would probably make me buy another. I don't know really what you mean by the hog stuff. Now, I did do a couple videos that came out that I did myself. One was talking about the Harley, I think it was called the Harley scam, or the dealer scam, you know. But as I'm finding out right now, is every company does that. Anywhere from cars, trucks, motorboats, campers, with the RVs, Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki. Everybody kind of does that bait and switch, right? They have online, they have what they call the MSRP, manufacturers service, manufacturers retail, price or suggested retail price, MSRP. And then you go in, you find out that motorcycle that you really wanted to buy, and you got the $28,900 in your hand ready to buy it. Plus you got over here the tax, title, and transfers because we have to pay that. We know that. And then you go in there like, oh no 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 wait no wait, it's 35,000 because the dealer has this freedom to mark it up to wherever they want to put that motorcycle based on the type of people that come into the motorcycle shop. That's basically what it is. And I tried to do that before. I did a little experiment. I put on a suit and tie and walked into a Harley shop and got a price. I walked into a different Harley shop, with blue jeans and an old t-shirt, and the prices was incredibly different because they believe if you're in a suit and tie, you can afford more cash, right? So when you're going to buy a motorcycle, I would suggest to dress down. Don't dress up. Don't make it that kind of event. Dress down as much as you can. Your clothing says a lot about the person, or at least is a suggestion of how much money you make. So be very careful with that. So let's see. Bike brands don't matter, Toby says. And you're right, Toby. They don't really matter. The best bike to ride is the one that you're on. You're right. That is true. I told you guys I used to watch a guy all the time, Crazy Cool New Yorker. I loved the guy. Absolutely. I never got to meet him. He quit doing YouTube several years ago, but he used to always say, he said, ride what you love and love what you ride, right? So don't let anybody tell you that bike's junk, that bike's crap, and Guys, I get the haters with the Royal Enfield Himalayan all the time, but I did a short the other day that Royal Enfield is the oldest motorcycle brand in the world. So there you have it. Now, is it a premium brand? No. No, it's not the premium brand. It's not the Cadillac of motorcycles. But they have been doing it since 1901, right? So that's a long, long time to build motorcycles. And, you know, maybe they figured it out. Maybe they figured out where they got to put their money at and where they don't have to put their money at to keep the prices really low and people buy their bikes. A lot of people are buying them. You'll see these Royal Enfields now popping up in Harley dealers, Honda dealers, Yamaha dealers, because these dealerships know that they can move these motorcycles and people will walk in. People will walk in and drop 5,000 before they walk in and drop 35,000. Especially in today's economy, that's just the way it works. So let's see. Minimoto said, "Need more coffee today. Words are hard. Your words are hard. Why is your words so hard, there, buddy?" Let's see. Paul says, "Looks like." Oh, I like the looks. Minimoto says, but I do not know why Honda tunes down the power so bad. They did the same thing on the MC700. Yeah, I don't know why. I think that's a governmental thing, where they got to roll the power back on these motorcycles. And well, look at California, guys. I don't know if any of you live in California, but California has the highest standards for EPA or for emissions control, right? And it's a shame because why can't motorcycle companies like Harley worry about putting all that crap on the bikes, worry about leaning their machines down to the point where they need to be tuned when you buy them, and just do that for people who live in California. But no, they do it with everything that rolls off the line. Now, maybe when their bikes are coming off the line, they don't know where they're shipping. I guess that could be a probability. I'm not really sure of that. So, and that's an interesting thought, guys. You guys are bringing up some interesting stuff this morning. Still narrowing down an ADV selection for me. Had a great look at the V Storm 1000. And the V Storm's a great bike, man. Motor Rambling rides one, and he absolutely loves that V Storm. So, good motorcycle. Be a good ADV for you for sure. Painsvar said the local Indian dealer here in Connecticut also sells Royal Enfield. Yeah, see what I mean? Like, Indian dealers are selling them, and every independent dealer is selling Royal Enfield. I often thought after I bought my Himalayan that I would love to be a dealer. I looked into, oh, excuse me. I looked into being a Harley dealer, but you have to have $3 million in the bank, and you have to have $1 million of liquid assets to even approach them to get a franchise. So I thought, man, wouldn't it be cool to open up just a Royal Enfield dealer, right, and have all the brand new Royal Enfields? And I went to a motorcycle shop in Ohio 2 years ago or a year ago. I can't remember. I can't even find the videos now, but they had a demo day with Royal Enfields, and it was absolutely fantastic, man. The turnout, so many guys I talked to, a lot of older guys. I was impressed. A lot of guys above the age of 80 are riding Royal Enfield Himalayan or Royal Enfields in general. And I asked them why. They said, well, we had a Harley touring bike, but it just got too heavy, and they weren't comfortable on it anymore. And they said they really don't tour anymore, and they don't really travel on their bikes. But they like to have a motorcycle to ride around on, enjoy life. So they've been trading their Harleys in and buying these Royal Enfields up. Still waiting for the new 650 Royal Enfield to come out. I can't wait for that bike to come out. And it would be really hard for me not to put one in the garage, right? The only thing is I'm limited to garage space, and I don't want to run out of space. Because I keep telling you guys, Mrs. HDR does want that Indian motorcycle, so we keep our eyes open. If we find one here, probably within the next year, we may purchase it and have that in the garage. So 3 bikes is probably about the most I could put in my garage without putting my car outside. Now, if I put my car outside, I can have maybe 8 on my side of the garage. But I don't want to put my car outside because I'm spoiled in the wintertime. We get a lot of snow. It's nice just to open that garage door up, pop that garage door open and get in your car and just drive up the driveway. It's so nice not to have to scrape cars off. So I am spoiled that way. But anyway. Real glad, Andy, good morning. Everyone always forgot about Pikachu. They have been making motorcycles since 1898. Yeah, and I don't know who that is, dude. I'd like to know more about that. I'll look it up after the show. Smurry Cowboy says, when men get older, they can't keep. Smyrna, where does your head go all the time? I tell you, buddy, I've known you for years. Even signed your helmet, but sometimes you get in the dumps. Um, but they still want to ride, so they get three-wheelers, trikes, or spiders. Yeah, exactly, and there's nothing wrong with that, guys. I mean, I've been seeing people on trikes and spiders a younger age now. I've been seeing younger people getting on spiders and trikes, and you know, they seem to like them better. I mean, my only biggest holdback is the price tag. You know, especially on a Harley trike. I mean, you're talking 40 grand, easy, right? Spiders you can get lower than that, probably around. Probably get a really nice one for about 30, maybe even 25. If you want to put that money out for that, and I love the spiders, guys. I think it's a great bike. So, let's see. No one takes scooters seriously. 50-mile-an-hour on a set of 14-inch wheels is a blast. Yeah, scooters could be fun too. You know. So, petted goat, pure Gioti. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Is a French auto manufacturer. Cool. My friend just bought an Indian Chief. The battery, charger plug, and tool for the windshield are down in the front rear wheel. It's weird. Yeah, that is weird. Why would they put it there? I don't get it. But anyway. Oh, okay, wait. The charger plug. I got you. Has anyone ever seen a Jonas, a nice retro look? I have not seen that type of motorcycle at all. So, but anyway, getting back to my topic at hand here this morning. The weather's changing rapidly, guys. I keep looking at the motorcycles, both of them, and I keep thinking, it's about that time of year where I'm going to be winterizing. Yeah, winterizing the bikes, and you know, I could say plug in the battery tenders in, but I keep my bikes on tender all the time, and I just think it's a good idea to keep your battery. And the tenders I use is Honda battery tenders. They cycle the battery so that way the bike thinks it's running, even though it's not. So the battery goes up and down, and it keeps that charge topped off on it. I think it's a great idea to do that. So mine stay on tenders all year long. I don't just do it in the wintertime. But I do use the Seafoam. Seafoam, if you've ever used that. I used to get blasted too on YouTube when I mentioned that I use Seafoam. Oh, it'll clog up the jets and clog up the intakes, and I don't know. I haven't had any trouble to this point, so far, knock on wood. I mean, I think I'll be okay. The trick is don't use too much of that stuff. Use the recommended dosage on your bikes, and take them out. Once you pour it in there, don't just leave it sit. Take them out and ride it for at least 20 minutes, and get everything mixed up in your tank and get it ran through the system, and then park the bike. So, D.A. Bishop, good morning. And you said GM, only reason holding back from a Can-Am is where you take it for brakes. You can't change your own brakes on a Can-Am? I didn't know that. I'm riding from the coast this morning. A cool front hit is only going to be 80. Bob, 80 is pretty nice, guys. Maybe where Bob lives, 80 is not nice, but 80 is pretty nice here. It's actually supposed to be warm all this week, but then there's that other thing that gets in the way for me called work. And you got to work every day and come home. I mean, the other day was an exception. I told Miss HR, I said, I got to take a bike out and take a ride. And I only rode 30 miles, but it felt like it was 300. It felt like I had all my freedom back in my life, and I was relieved and revigorated. Revigorated? Revived? Whatever. You know what I mean. So. All right. Toby Norton said watching and 15 up. Yeah, 35, 36 watching, and there's 15 likes. So he said, smash that like button. Smash it. Smash it. Yeah. Tomorrow at 0. I think HDR needs more espresso. Buddy, I need a lot more coffee. Like I said, I've been up since like 3:30, man, but I fell asleep at 9 in the chair last night. We were watching TV, and I felt so bad. We finally had time to sit down, myself, Mrs. HDR together, and watch something together, and I just fell asleep, man. I was out. I woke up about 11:30. She was in bed, and I get out of the chair and went to bed. But then I got up at like 3:30 this morning, so now I'll be dragging. And I'm building a deck today, so putting the finishing touches, I hope, on the deck on the front of our house. It's been a long battle, but we are coming along the finish line. I was actually out there this morning already looking at it with some ideas of how I want to cap the edges off. Once I get the floor laid, then I have to go out and buy the wood yet, though, for the banisters. So I probably won't get the banisters done today, but we will get all the decking down today, and I will get the decking capped off and finished. New boards on the fronts and sides, new 2x6s. So, but it's looking really, really, really nice. It was something that needed to be done. You know how lumber, after 15 years, even treated lumber, just it gives out, man. So I'm pretty happy with the looks of it right now. All right. Since Toby didn't mention it, let me see. Did he mention it? He didn't mention it. Oh, there he is, mid-show. Toby, way to go, man. All right, let's play this mid-show.
Coffee brewing? Check.
Coffee with HDR on the big screen in the shed? Check.
15 minutes till coffee with HDR. Check. Oh, man. Oh. Yes, Mr. President. Yes, sir. Sir, with all due respect, we're getting ready to watch Coffee with HDR. Yeah, he's on 9. 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Yes, sir. I'll give you a call back in an hour. Thank you, sir. Oh, I tell you, nothing interrupts Coffee with HDR. Let's get on with the show.
I love that intro. That's one of the best intros I've ever had sent into the show. And you guys always are more than welcome to send me an intro for your channel. Introduce your channel. Say good morning. This is Coffee with HDR. This is Toby Northern has done quite a few of them. Be the Rider PA has done them. Uh, Jarvis Biker. I had one from Jarvis. I had one from Own. I interviewed a couple people at Own. I put that one out. So if you have something you want to put together, guys, put it together. Drop me an Instagram message, and I will give you an email address where you can send it directly to me, and I'll play it on the show the next time the show rolls, depending on how many I get in, of course. And I don't see him here this morning, but Bodine52 has sent him in. Bronco Ride has never sent me anything. Huh. Wait, dramatic pause. And neither has, and I don't see him here this morning either. All my Ty from Tennessee I haven't seen in here yet this morning. Texas Ride, good morning to you. Glad to have on board there this morning with us. Yeah, so Anthony was saying super deck stain will help make the deck last a long time. We did have it stained. We used, what the heck was that called? I can't remember the name of the stain that we used before for that. Standard decking stain, I guess, But I will look into that. I think the one thing we've been reading that when you lay outdoor lumber, you have to let it cure. Like, so you lay it, you don't paint it. Like, we always stained ours, like, as soon as we got it done, we would stain it, right? But you're supposed to let it cure for like 3 to 6 months, unstained. And let the weather get to it. Let it get, used to the weather. Then let it dry good, and then stain it after that time. So we're going to let it cure this time and see how that works out for us. See if it works out even better. Good morning, Patrick. I hope you're doing well. Just wanted to pop in and say hi. Well, hello to you. And I hope you're doing well also, my friend. I see you're still traveling around doing that travel nursing thing. You're meeting a lot of interesting people, a lot of friends out there. So that's a good thing to do. Just seeing if I got any messages here. But yeah, so So Orvis is in the house, and Orvis has been out riding. Jarvis Biker, remember the commercial where the old cowboy stained his house in the shotgun res? I don't remember that commercial. So, yeah, but that's pretty cool stuff. But that is on the agenda today anyway. So between that and getting some extra parts on the bike, I do have some winter videos to do. People love them or hate them. Garage videos, we call them. They they're nice. I think they're nice because you're showing people how to do things, and I think that's pretty important. Um, and the videos I've been doing recently. If you guys have seen any of those videos, I just did a video on the KLR 650, talking about the head bearing problems that they're having, and the video's got a really really good response. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to look up information about different motorcycles now, not just Harleys. So, and if there's recalls, I'm going to report on those recalls. And it doesn't matter what the bike is, even if I don't own one. I still want to bring that up to people. And a lot of people have been emailing me saying, it's big help. They appreciate that. So, I mean, the recall on the Harleys recently, if you have a Harley Davidson touring model or a Softail, that the rear shock, the bolt on the rear shock. But what I understand is from a couple people who got it fixed, it's actually, I don't so much as a bolt as the screw that goes in the little part that turns, so you can adjust them. I guess that's what they're saying it is. So, but if you've upgraded your shocks, you have nothing to worry about. So, like me, I put the Revo A's on mine. So, I guess if I ever would sell the motorcycle and put the stock shocks back on it, then we'd have to worry about getting the recall done to sell it. But other than that, I'm not really worried about the recalls on the Harley. Where's everyone watching from? And what devices do you watch from? That's always a good question, for sure, Toby. So, Toby wants to know, where is everybody watching from? I know somebody's in here from Australia, South Dakota. I've seen that. Where are you guys located at? And, Payne's Rods in, Connecticut. But, and what are you watching on? That's always interesting, right? Are you watching me on a laptop, on a tablet? I like watching my streams and everything on the big screen TV. I think that's the best to watch on the TV set. But, and, so you watch on the TV, and what you do is keep your phone in your hand so you can text and you can be in the chat room. I do it all the time with live streams. So they're a lot of fun that way because you can see it better and, enjoy the whole beauty of their people's studios. So I think that's awesome. So there's Harley 103 is from Ontario, Canada. Jarvis Biker's watching on his MacBook. Smyrna Cowboy is on the big screen in the shed. Pappy's Place, that's great. South Dakota, laptop. D.A. Bishop, laptop. N.A. Moose Mountain is on his cell phone in New Hampshire, watching on the cell phone. Harley 103 on his cell phone. Payne's Rides on his 46-inch PC monitor hung on the wall. It's a good size monitor, brother. Mine's a 34-inch widescreen I just bought, and I love that thing. 46? That has to be awesome to do some editing on. So, for sure. So, yeah, there you go, Toby. A lot of people. WS Keys on 3 is in Vegas on a laptop. Patrick says he's watching from Amazon today. Is that what you said? I was sure. Watching from, Arizona today on his 2021 MacBook Pro. Seeing Jarvis Bikers in Ontario, Canada. Kawasaki also has a key problem. Key fits every bike. Oh, that's interesting to know. Payne's Rides says he's talking about nursing. Okay, doing well, guys. Good. Okay, just going back through here. Captain Ed said Connecticut, TV, and a laptop. See, you got the right idea. Roy's Moto Adventures. Good morning, Roy. Glad to have you on board there this morning. Your recent video, man, was great with that waterproof bag. If you're not checking out Roy's Moto Adventures, guys, I don't know why. The guy's awesome. He's a good guy in front of the camera. He's a lot of fun to watch. But what I really like about Roy is he's a lot like me. He looks for bargain type of equipment, right? So he just got a new bag. I'm not going to tell you what the bag brand is because you're going to have to go watch his video to see that. But let me tell you, he paid less than a Harley branded bag, right? don't always just run to Harley Davidson or Honda or Indian to buy your stuff. Look around. There's great products out there for way less money. Way less money. So anyway, so Payne's Rides actually sending. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Woo. Check this out. I'm on the big screen. You see that? I'm on the big screen. Check it out. Yeah, 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 yeah. Woo. Thanks, buddy. That was nice. It's a very nice setup you got going on there, for sure. Texas on laptop, Dean C. All right. Paul says he's on the iPhone in South Carolina. Ron Kelly, Southeast Ohio on a cell phone. All right, guys. Man, people are watching from all over the world. And HDR on a cell phone and World Super Bike Race and MotoGP on the TV. Oh, that's awesome. So you're double watching two things at once. Multitasking. That's a good thing. So um, let's see. Whatever size monitor you told me to buy, Roguelite Andy said. I believe that's a 24-inch or 27-inch Roguelite Andy. One of those, but thanks anyway for throwing that in there. So, but yeah, so you know, I talked about that a few weeks ago too. Riding seasons for different people mean different things. I mean, I talked to a guy in California, which I thought they just rode all year long, and that's not really the case. Texas is the same, not really the case. And the reason is it gets to be 120 degrees and people don't take their motorcycles out. Just like if it's raining ice here in Pennsylvania or it's snowing or we got black ice on the roads or snow drifts or there's times you just don't take your motorcycle out. So it's not even just the cold, it's the road conditions that keep us planted sometimes here in Pennsylvania. Because many of you know, I've been out in the middle of winter, man. You give me a couple nice days, and I get the bike out of the garage and I'm riding, even my small loops. But never, ever, 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 and this came from Sean Smoke, who's a motorcycle mechanic. Love the guy. I trust him 100%. Never start your bikes up in the winter and let them run for 5 minutes and turn them off. He said that is a bigger drain on the battery than what you're putting back. So the reason I'm telling you that, if you go out for a motorcycle ride in inclement weather, what I want you to do is ride at least 20 minutes. So 20 minutes will get that battery back up to where it was for you to start it, and then put the bike away and give time for all the fluids to move around the engine, right? 5 minutes in the garage, it doesn't make sense to do that. Keep your bike on a battery tender. It will be ready for you in the spring. Don't worry. I've been doing it for years and years and years, and it's been perfectly fine. So, uh, but anyway, Technic Rides, good morning, buddy. Glad to have you on board here with us this morning. iPhone in Virginia. I wish Technic Rides lived closer to me because I have a whole classroom of 80 students that love technology, and I'd love to have somebody like Technic. I sat and talked to him at OWN, and I can honestly say this young man, Technic, is a younger man than I am, but he has a wealth of knowledge about technology. And just have you come into my classroom to talk to my students about how important it is to learn, to do what they're trying to do, to become somebody as important as you, Technic Rides. So that tells you that. See, his name is Tech Nick Rides because he's a techie like me. Yeah, techie. There you go. Jarvis Biker said, I just start my bike and listen to it. There you go. Not a bad thing to do. Smyrna Cowboy says, keep smashing that like button. We're getting up there pretty fast. Jarvis Biker said, that's not bad. Yeah, start it up, listen to it. TechNet, always, buddy, man. One of my favorite tech guys out there, and I only met you for 20 minutes at OWN. So I'd love to be able to sit and just pick your brain, man. I know you're a server guy, and I know you have a lot of knowledge up there. So I love to talk to you for sure about that. Um, Maybe we can get together one day. If you ever have time, TechNet, man, if you're on Instagram, I think you are, right? Hit me up on Instagram and send me a direct message on there. Maybe we can even get you to Zoom into my class, right? We own Zoom at the school. I can set up the call, get you on the big screen, with the big speaker in the back, and you can actually talk to the kids. We can do some interaction. And I think that would be awesome to have somebody out there in the field talking to my kids about technology. So, Always make friends with the server guy, Jarvis Bike said. Always, always, always make friends with the server guy. You know who I used to make friends with when I worked at schools? These are the key people. I was the server guy, so that's out. I didn't make friends with myself. I made friends with the cafeteria people, right? Because they fed us. And I made friends with all the custodians and maintenance people. Because if I needed help, then I knew they would come and help me right away, right? And we were always friends. And I do that today too, even at our school now. Because I'm a teacher, I do my best to make friends with the tech guy. We have a tech guy in the school that does all the tech work, but I teach tech too. So sometimes we get in little arguments about what I need as opposed to what he wants to give me. So that happens. But the secretaries, I'm friends with all the secretaries because they kind of run the school, right? When you call up and need something, they can help you out. So yeah, it's very important to be friends with certain people in any job, right? Any job. Maybe you work at a company and you want to be friends with somebody in the mailroom because you want your packages to come to your desk before anybody else gets their packages. Think about that. It's pretty important. Oh, they can get rid of the evidence. I got you. I got you, Jarvis Biker. Yeah, that's true. They can get rid of the evidence. So, um, I had this conversation one time with Bodine. Bodine works for a major corporation. You guys know that he sells big screen jumbotrons, right? That's what they do. That's what their company does. And his work gives him a laptop, and he would travel with that laptop and do all of his editing on it. I'm like, dude, you shouldn't do that, right? I'm a big person or big opponent to if you have a work laptop, guys, don't use that for your personal day to day stuff. Don't edit your videos on there. And I know it's tempting, right? Because then you don't have to buy anything. Don't, have your pictures on there, your private pictures or whatever. Buy your own computer, right? And that's why I just replaced my iMac with my new Mac Mini because the iMac died and I couldn't buy a 27-inch anymore. So I bought the Mac Mini in a 34-inch widescreen because I love it. I mean, what a wonderful setup. And I know I can put all my personal stuff on there and it doesn't interfere with my work. Now, flip that though. I do have some of my work stuff on there because I do like lesson plans. I do like, this morning I was doing grades because on a 34-inch screen, I can split two panes up and I can see both panes. Not that I can't on my multiple monitors sitting right in front of me because I do have a 27-inch and a 24-inch monitor in front of me here where you're looking at me. The 34-inch screen's on that side. It's on that side, whatever. It's over there. So I have two different computer setups in here. So, and the reason I do that is because I use Windows for teaching. I use the Mac for everything else, for all my personal stuff, my editing, my creativity. So that's one thing I like to use there. So good morning to Wind Road Therapy. Glad to have you on board there this morning with us. Jarvis Biker, nice to have you on board there with us this morning. It's been a long time, but I finally made it back to Coffee with HDR, and we're glad you made it back today. We're glad you're here with us for another Coffee with HDR, show number 141 on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I guess 7 o'clock Central Time, would that be? Or Mountain Time? Central Time, I think, where Smyrna Cowboy is. So, yeah, but nobody likes to put their bikes away, and I'm, for one, that kind of person. I don't want to put it away. But, uh, but with winter coming, what are you going to do, right? So I will find other outlets though for videos for the channel. I've actually revamped my other channel, Jack's Photo and Tech. There's new videos coming out on there, and I'm trying to get 3 videos on there a week. I'm just trying to figure out, my little, they call it the niche, right? Um, so right now I put 3 videos up of unboxing the Apple Mac Mini, which was, they don't do well, but it's kind of cool. I like doing things. Don't always look at your videos like for how many views they get. Look at videos for how much fun they are to make, right? And I love making this stuff. The other one is how to set up a Mac Mini or how to set up a new Mac. And then the one coming out today or tomorrow is about, how to actually use a Mac. And I meet so many people that buy a Mac computer and they don't do any more with it than what they did with their old Windows computer, which it's so much more. The computer is so much more. It's so powerful of what you can do. So, you have that. But anyway. Roguelite Andy said, engine heat idling for a long time would scare me. I haven't seen anything from you in a while. Yeah, wind road therapy. Yeah, we haven't seen any videos for wind road therapy for a while, so hopefully she'll be getting some more stuff out there. Patrick Worth says, I've enjoyed being in the moment and riding. I put a bunch of miles on the Heritage this year. And yeah, buddy, and we missed you at VAM this year. We missed you all together down at VAM. But hopefully next year you can make it. Patrick said, I gave up filming. It wasn't fun for me anymore. Maybe one day I'll go back to it. And Patrick, that's the beauty of YouTube, right? And people say, hey, HDR, why do you have 10 YouTube channels? Because if I'm not feeling it creating some content one day, I'll create something else on another channel. I like creating content, but I do the same thing, Patrick. I want to create something that's fun for me to do, right? Not work. I don't want to do work on top of work. So, and the motorcycle stuff was always fun because you're out riding anyway. You turn the camera on. Hey guys, I'm Patrick Orvis and I'm out here riding my 2022, I think it is, Harley Heritage, and man, I love this motorcycle and it's got some get up and go, and yeah, it's pretty easy if it's fun. But then you have to come home and edit it. You have to create the amazing thumbnail that you have to figure out. You have to get the best title. Guys, right now, and I'll throw it out there to you, I've been using 3 or 4 AI title generators. You put in there your thought, like what your video is about, and it will generate titles for you, catchy titles. So look those up. I mean, you know, people will tell you I've watched a lot of stuff on this. It's title and thumbnail, not so much the content. If they don't click on it and you edited your video for 7 hours, nobody's going to ever see it anyway if they don't click on it. So, yeah, I'm still looking for a good AI. I found one that will actually generate a cool thumbnail. Like you put in there motorcycles, twisty roads, and it will actually generate you a thumbnail. So, and have a little catchy phrase on the top of it. So, these are, but it's work, Patrick. You're right. That's more work, right? You have to always be thinking, whatever. But the other videos I post up, heck, some of the thumbnails are actually just a shot of the video itself. I don't put anything on it. I just post it, put a little title on it, like first steps of setting up an Apple Mac computer. I mean, if people watch it, fine. If they don't, well, that's fine. But they've been getting 35, 40 views, and that's fun, right? It gives people something, and if I'm helping one person, then I'm doing all right. So, but anyway, you guys know how that goes. Let's see here. Where else are we? No videos usually means out on the bike and embracing life. Toby says, you're right. That's the best thing. Best thing to be out on the bike embracing life. Nothing yet, but I started setting a timer for like 30 to 40 minutes, Toby said. I've enjoyed being in the moment and riding a bunch of miles on the bike this year. Just going through some of this. Regular Andy said anything yet, but I started to set a timer for 30 to 40 minutes. You must have the same disorder I have, CRS. Smyrna Cowboy said, when I was wheelchair bound, I would wheel out to the bike and start it just so I can smell the fumes. There you go. I finally got a helmet that works for me, a Airy Segment X. I also got a motovlogging setup on it, on the helmet. Now, if I can just get out and ride, I can get some videos out. Let's see. Paul says, my camera captured a lot of Zion in the Wind River Canyon this summer when I forgot to turn the cameras off. There you go, Paul. At least you have a lot of footage. Paul Nelson said, I'm lazy. I pretty much don't edit. Quick note, when sharing your videos on Instagram, the link will not work. It's not like Facebook. Sharing a link in a comment doesn't work either. There is a lot of, a lot of controversy around that, guys. You know, and we all do it. I've done it too sometimes, but you'll know sometimes I don't do it. What I'm talking about is simply just to throw this out there, everybody. When you post a new video on YouTube, YouTube is a social media platform. So then you go to Instagram and you announce that video on YouTube. What you're taking away from people going to your YouTube social media platform to find out if there's something new, right? So if you show them over here and they're not interested in it, they'll never even go to your YouTube channel, right? The idea is just don't pre-advertise it. And sometimes I do, but most of the times I don't do it anymore. Just keep it on your YouTube social media. And the reason you do that is when I'm looking through the feeds, I'm like, oh, I'm going to click on it. But if I seen it 3 days before on my social media, I'm like, oh, here's a new video from, Joe the biker guy, and his videos about riding out and seeing trash on the roads. Well, that doesn't really seem interesting. So I will never go to YouTube and look for that video, right? I just won't do it. So be careful when you're, and I know, believe me, I think all my videos are absolutely great, right? Just like you do. And we all do. They're wonderful videos. We spend a lot of time on them. But be careful where you advertise that video because you don't want to shut your audience down before they go over and check out the video, right? Make them go over and click on it. And then tell them what it's about, right? Do your little 30-second or 4-second, hello, and this is what it's about. So just a pointer to you there. So be careful. I know, Toby, you're just talking about links on Instagram and stuff. Don't even link them. Don't even put a thumbnail up that says, look, I got a video coming out tomorrow about, running over snakes with my motorcycle. If you're a snake lover, I'm sorry I said that, but I do run over snakes with my motorcycle. So just an opinion. That's my opinion. Well, not even mine. It's actually stuff that I've been watching on YouTube that says don't do it. So be careful with that. Real Jackie Boy's in there. Good morning. Well, fellas, I got to Under Armour on, and I'm heading out for an all-day ride. Have a good one. Real Jackie Boy, you have a good one also. Be careful out there on the bike today. Let's see. All right, so that is my tip of the day for you. All right, guys and girls. Well, it's been a real enjoyable day today again. A lot of fun. We talked about a lot of stuff there. As I said, about winterizing the bike, doing garage videos, doing my newfound friend of reporting on different motorcycle topics is very, very important to me for everybody's safety out there. So, and I'm kind of scouring the web looking for this stuff. So, as I come across it, I will share it with you, and I will share it with everybody out there. And so, if you're riding an Indian, if you're riding a Can-Am Spider, you may see something from Harley Day Rider talking about those, just to give people a heads up about what's coming down the road for their motorcycle. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Harley Day Riders Coffee with HDR. And hopefully we'll be coming to you there for another, 9 or so episodes. And we'll see how it goes. So thank you for watching. I do appreciate everybody for stopping by this morning. If you're going out there, remember, ride your own ride. You be safe out there. And until next time, I'll talk to you. I want you to be safe. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you then on Coffee with HDR. Have a great week. Good day, everybody.